all the men and women merely players. They have their entrances and exits. Thus spoke Shakespeare, and indeed he couldn't have put it better. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to our humble event. Theatre is one of the oldest forms of entertainment. It is a mirror that reflects the times. It shows us what the world truly looks like, with all its eccentricities and idiosyncrasies. It is also a powerful means of communication, as it echoes the feelings and emotions of the spectators. At first glance, a law school is not the ideal place to host a play. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not any other law school. As future lawyers, it is our duty to make the people aware of the laws and regulations of our country. Also, as organizers of various prestigious moot court competitions, we must know the subtle differences between a trial and an appeal. This play is a humble effort on our part to bring forth the quest for justice, a phenomena which is dear to the hearts of all those who respect liberty. Today we are here to honor the memory of one of the most revered figures in the history of Indian independence, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Born in 1864, Lokmanya Tilak, as he was fondly called, was a thinker, a publisher, a reformist, as well as an Indian nationalist. Most of us would know him as the editor of the popular vernacular newspapers, the Kesari and the Maratha. However, few of us know the brilliant lawyer that he was. In 1908, he was charged with the offence of sedition for voicing opinions on the inefficacy of the British rule. Facing a biased jury, an unheeding judge, and a fierce opposition, Lokmanya Tilak knew his fate was inevitable. But that did not prevent him from going through 8 days of brilliant legal argument. The parting words of Tilak have been immortalized as etched into a marble tablet in the Bombay High Court, the very place which ironically sentenced him to 6 years of deportation. In light of the circumstances prevalent today, it is even more important that we reaffirm the pledge taken by our forefathers to keep India free from any form of oppression and despair. Let the light of Swaraj burn away the enemies of this great nation. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the Tilak trial.
All rise! This court shall come to order. The proceedings of the court shall commence.
You, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, are charged by the clerk of the crown as follows. That you, on or about the 9th day of May 1908, at Bombay, being the printer and publisher of a certain vernacular newspaper entitled the Kesari, by printed words attempted to excite feelings of disaffection towards the government established by law in India. By publishing in the issue of the said newspaper on the 12th of May 1908 an article headed by the words having the effect of provoking the common populace, in columns 4 and 5 of page 4 and columns 1 and 2 of page 5 thereof, and that you thereby have committed an offence punishable under sections 124A and 153A of the Indian Penal Code, and within the cognizance of the High Court of Bombay. Given under my hand this 13th day of July, 1908.
My Lord, before deciding this charge, the Honourable Court has two additional issues to decide upon. Firstly, whether an appeal to the Privy Council should be allowed. And secondly, whether a special jury should be constituted for it. My Lord, the ramifications of this case will be vast, and owing to its importance in the current political scenario of India, as well as the legal precedent, it will no doubt say, it is humbly prayed that a special jury be constituted for it.
Does the Defence Counsel wish to say something on this issue?
Yes, my lord. The rationale for which has already been submitted to this honourable court. There is no need for constituting a special jury in the matter, as certain grounds exist for this contention. First, in all fairness, it is the privilege of the accused to be tried by the judges, majority of whom are neither Europeans nor Americans. My lords Mansfield and Fitzgerald have held that this privilege is of supreme importance to the accused, as there could be a great bias if he were to be tried under the thumb of a foreign jury. Also, it would affect his right to a fair trial granted to him under the criminal laws. Second, the jury not being well versed in Marathi and Kesari being published only in Marathi would have to rely on the official translations of the article, Your Lordship, which could lead to grave injustice, as the translations, even by the best of the scholars, could lead to a cloud of uncertainty over the intended meaning and not convey the feelings and expressions of the accused. Third, the impact of the article on the minds of the Marathi readers would not be the same as that on the minds of the Europeans. In this case, for example, a foreign jury would have to determine the effect of these articles on the readers of the Kesari in exciting disaffection against the government in power. Your Lordship, jurists fluent in Marathi would be far but abjectly careless of this. Finally, Mr. Tilak over here is charged in section 153A, where he is accused of exciting the feelings of Indians against the government in power. Your Lordship, it would be the very same people in power, his accusers, who could be trying him further in his offence. Now, does that not violate one of the basic canons of national justice, that a person cannot be a judge in his own case? Your Lordship, that is the defence's contention.
After listening to the contentions of both the parties, I have come to the conclusion that the prayer of prosecution is granted and Defence Counsel's contention is rejected on the following grounds. Firstly, under section 276 of the CRPC, a special jury is necessarily summoned in all cases punishable by death. Further, it has been the practice of this court to impanel a special jury in cases requiring a more complex understanding of socio-legal issues. In the present matter, it would be in the interest of Mr. Tilak here that he be tried by a jury more well versed with society and its functions. Secondly, it does not make any difference as to who makes the translation, so as long as they are competent enough to be presented in this court. The prosecution shall now continue with its preliminary arguments.
Your Lordship, we find ourselves in a unique position today, one that would set a benchmark in the history of justice. We are here today to try this man, a man of great standing amongst the common populace. He has the power to stir the minds and hearts of his followers and lead them in any direction he sees fit. One would think that a man of such intelligence and stature would understand the responsibilities that came with such influence. But alas, gentlemen, this is not the case. Through his words and actions, Mr. Tilak has not only attempted to condone the heinous crime of the brutal murder of innocent civilians, but has gone a step further and justified the act as a natural consequence of the misgovernment of the British Crown. Mr. Tilak attempted this folly by publishing articles that were not only defamatory, but may also spur further violence and antagonism towards this government. And this, gentlemen, is simply not pardonable. Let us look back now at the cause, the crux of this whole affair. I take you now to the 30th day of April 1908, to the district of Muzaffarpur, where the reprehensible deed done.
On the 30th of April 1908, two youths, Prafulla Chaki and Khudiram Bose, stationed themselves outside the European Club, waiting for the carriage of Kingsford. The time was around 8:30 at night. As soon as the carriage was sighted, they flew into action. Their aim was sure, and they left just as quickly. However, their departure did not allow them to hear the cries of the women inside the carriage, the wife and daughter of Mr. Pringle. It was this very incident that Tilak reported in subsequent articles, that although never supported the heinous crimes, yet were critical of the government to have let things reach such a level.
It is done.
Good! Now let us flee before they catch us. You go that way, I'll go this way. Find them! Find the man who did this. Hey, you!
There's the man! There's the man through the wall!
Surround him!
We have you now.
It will do you no good. I am but an insignificant man. But your Mr. Douglas Kingsford was not. Your chief presidency magistrate is no more.
You fool! Mr. Kingsford wasn't in that carriage. The wife and the daughter of the barrister Pringle were.
What?
You killed women.
Innocent women! Women?
You can't get away now, you dog. Give up that weapon. We have you surrounded.
You're right.
No, no, stop it! A pity. I'd rather done that myself.
Sir! We have another one!
You. How many of you were there?
You might have got me, but you'll never catch my partner.
Your partner, it seems. Well, you see, we didn't need to. He did quite a fine job himself.
Prafulla!
Don't breathe over his body, swine! You'll join him soon enough. Take him away. That's right. And as for this filth, have it out of my sight. Wait. Have his head chopped off and hang his headless corpse in the town square. Let this be a reminder for those who try to usurp the British supremacy at what lies await. Men, fall back.
Amidst the growing popularity that the trial garnered, one man